Good evening, YouTube. How you folks doing? How you folks doing? Dirk here, GC Blues 45. Okay, we're still in the Four Nations break, and now I want to give you where we stand at going into the Four Nations as we get ready to return on Saturday. Where we stand? Well, it don't look good for some teams. So here we go. We're going to start off with the Atlantic Division. And by the way, before we really get into this, if you haven't come across the video and happen to like it, give me that thumbs up. It's very important. Helps keep the channel going. So here we go. Starting off with the Atlantic Division. Now the teams I'm going to be naming are in order, and then once I do all that conference, I'm going to tell you who's eliminated and who's not. So here we go. Starting off with the Atlantic Division, it's Florida at 34, 20, and 3 and 71 points, and they got 25 games left. Next is Toronto with 32, 20, and 2 and 68 points. They got 27 games left. That's right. I'm also telling you how many games are left in the season for each team. Next is Tampa Bay. They are at 31, 20, and 4, 66 points, and they got 27 games left. Ottawa is next at 29, 23, and 4, and 62 points. They got 26 games left. Detroit is at 28, 22, and 5 and 61 points. They got 27 games left. Boston, 27, 24, and 6 and 60 points. They got 25 games left. Next is Montreal at 25, 26, and 5 and 55 points. They got 26 games left. Finally, Buffalo at 22, 27, and 5, 49 points. They got 28 games left. Now with the Metropolitan Division, before we give you where everyone stands in the East. It's Washington at 31, 11, and 8 and 80 points. They got 27 games left. Next is Carolina. They are at 33, 19, and 4 with 70 points, and they got 26 games left. New Jersey's next at 31, 20, and 6 with 68 points. They got 25 games left. Next is Columbus. They are 26, 22, and 8 and 60 points. They got 26 games left. Next is the Rangers, the New York Rangers. They are 27, 24, and 4 and 58 points. They have 27 games left. Next are the Islanders. They are at 25, 23, and 9 and 57 points. They also have 27 games left. Next are the Pittsburgh Penguins. 23, 25, and 9, 55 points, 25 games left. And finally, the Philadelphia Flyers, 24, 26, and 7, also 55 points. They also have 25 games left. Now, unfortunately, there are 3 teams mathematically out of it. Now, how do I know this? There's a site that I went to and I checked, and folks, they are mathematically out. And those teams are in the Atlantic Division, Buffalo. They are mathematically out. There's no chance to make the playoffs. In the Metropolitan, it's Philadelphia and Pittsburgh. They're mathematically out. The Islanders are next, and in the Atlantic, Montreal's next. Montreal needs to get on a good winning streak. If they can get on a good winning streak, they're in. But to tell you the truth, I really don't see it happening. Especially for Montreal. You know, they're still technically mathematically in it. But I don't see it at all. Now, as for the East, here's where one stands. Um, the first A1 goes to Florida, as you know. Toronto and Tampa Bay are A2 and A3. Basically, Toronto's A2, Tampa is A3. Wild cards, wild card go, sorry, and then in the Metropolitan, M1 is known as Washington, Carolina M2, New Jersey's M3, and the wild cards will go to Ottawa and Detroit. Because currently, right now, how things are standing, Wild card, this is going to be big. So we'll wait and see what can happen. It is big to tell. And a lot of people are like, oh, Columbus. No, Columbus is technically just out of the playoffs because right now, Washington is the best team in the conference, in the Eastern Conference. They will take on the number one wild card, which is Ottawa. Detroit will take on number two. So basically, it's an all Atlantic Division wild card. So we'll wait and see what can happen. Now let's get into the Western Conference. There's some surprises in the Western Conference. You already know three teams that are out. There are more teams mathematically out. Any guesses who? Well, we're about to find out. Once again, I'll give you the record, the points, and how many games are left. Starting off with Winnipeg, 39, 14, and 3, 81 points. They got 26 games left. Next is Dallas at 35, 18, and 2, and 72 points. They got 27 games left. Minnesota, they're at 33, 19, and 7, 70 points. They got 26 games left. Next is Colorado at 33, 22, and 2, and 68 points. They got 25 games left. Next is Utah at 24, 23, and 9, 57 points. They got 26 games left. Next are the Blues at 25, 26, and 5, 55 points. They got 26 games left. Also, next is Nashville at 19, 28, and 7, 45 points, 28 games left. And finally, the Chicago Blackhawks at 17, 31, and 7, 41 points, 27 games left. Now let's get into the Pacific Division. Starting off at number one, Edmonton at 34, 17, and 4, and 72 points, 27 games left. Next is Vegas at 33, 17, and 6, also 72 points. They got 26 games left. Next is LA at 29, 17, and 7, 65 points. They got 29 games left. They got the most games left out of all the teams. And by the way, you remember when that game got postponed because of the fires? That has been rescheduled in April. So they got one of the last games in April. Actually, the last night of the regular season, basically, folks. Next is Vancouver at 26, 18, and 11, 63 points. They got 27 games left. Next is Calgary at 26, 21, and 8, 60 points. Also 27 games left. Next is Anaheim at 24, 24, and 6, 54 points. They got 28 games left. Seattle is next with 24, 29, and 4, 52 points, 25 games left. And finally, San Jose at 15, 35, and 7, 37 points. They also have 25 games left. In the West, there are four teams mathematically out of it. If you heard the standings, you pretty much know who's out. In the Central, it's Nashville and Chicago. They are mathematically out of it. In the Pacific, it's Seattle and San Jose. Now, folks, the Blues are on the cusp. Literally, the Blues are on the cusp. We're on the cusp of being. We still have a fighting chance. And I hope for the best. I always hope for the best for this team. But I hope for the best for my Blues. And I hope we can do it. I hope we can. Um, for Anaheim, I don't see it. They're the next team to be eliminated in the in the Pacific Division. I don't see them gaining momentum. But anything can happen, folks. This is going to be a wild stretch of games. This is the final push. After this four-nation break, this is the final push. Who's going to get in? Who is out? So, by the way, I forgot to tell you. Here we go with who is in currently with the playoffs. As you know, C1 is Winnipeg, C2 is Dallas, C3 is Minnesota, Edmonton is P1, Vegas is P2, and LA is P3. As for the wild card, Colorado will take on Edmonton, Winnipeg will take on Vancouver, so it'll be an all Canadian first round for them. And for Edmonton, it's not. Um, as for the wild card seed, um, Colorado is the first wild card, and Edmonton is the best team. Oh, sorry, did I get this wrong? Let me check. Yeah, I did. Um, let me fix this real fast. Let me fix this. All right. Um, Colorado will make a trip to Winnipeg with um, Vancouver making a trip to Edmonton. So basically it's an all divisional first round in the West. Because you got to remember the best team in the West or best team in each conference will take on the number one wild card. No, I'm wrong. I had it right. Did I have it right? No, I did not. The best team will take on the number one wild card. So whoever's that number one seed, they take on the number one wild card. And that in the West is right now Winnipeg. And Vancouver is the number two seed, the number two wild card, and they'll take on Edmonton. So it's very close. Um, and as I say, folks, you know, they're, St. Louis is on the cusp, so is Anaheim. I think Anaheim will be the next team eliminated with St. Louis if we don't get on a good run. We're pretty much. But a lot of people are saying this four-nation break will be good for us. So we'll wait and see. Um, Now, what are my thoughts? I think how things are going, I'm thinking the President's Trophy, the President's Cup, will go. It's going to be a tight race between Washington and Winnipeg. Um, they're battling it out for that, and I think if things go the way they are, I think it could be Winnipeg that will nail the President's Cup or the President's Trophy. But that is hard to say right now with the number of games left. But, Florida can get on a good streak too, and they could win it again. They could. It could go to Washington. It could go to Winnipeg. It could go to Edmonton. It could go to one of those four teams. But who knows? By the way, comment below what you guys think. Who you think will get the President's Trophy? Comment below. Do you think it'll be Winnipeg? Do you think it'll be Washington? Do you agree with me with one of them too? Or do you think Florida and Edmonton will probably take it? Tell me below. And tell me what you guys think of already one, two, three, four, five, six, seven teams already mathematically out of it. Literally, as we're in the Four Nations break, the Four Nation Faceoff break, we have seven teams mathematically out of the playoffs. Literally, they're literally mathematically out. Comment below and tell me what you guys think. and tell me who you got. Who you guys think? Who will win? Who you guys got? Um, as your playoff, as your top playoff team. Who you guys hoping for to win it all? Because I picked the Rangers to start off, but folks, when we get into the playoffs, the playoff prediction is going to change. It will. So as always, folks, please stay safe, take care. Remember the Lord's watching it, and I'll see you guys next time. And actually, I will see you guys Saturday as we get ready for the return of the NHL. Until then, peace.